me get the record going. All right, the court is calling cause number 2020 DCM 1663. This is a hearing on a petition filed by the Attorney General's office. It is entitled A Suit Affecting Parent-Child Relationship. There appears to be two minor children before the court. Parties in this case are Stephanie Ramirez and Mr. Angel Gonzalez. This matter was scheduled for a final hearing today, October 1st, 2020 at 8 o'clock. It is now 8:30. Ms. Ramirez has not made an appearance at this time in the Zoom hearing that was scheduled. My name is Antonio Rodriguez. I am the Associate Judge for the Title 4D Court here in El Paso, Texas. And we are appearing on this matter on a Zoom application because of the pandemic crisis. We're not allowed to go back into the courtroom at this time. So the courts have allowed us to proceed on this remote hearing on the Zoom application. Record should reflect that Ms. Stephanie Ramirez, who is the non-custodial parent, was served with citation back on May the 28th of this year. She has not filed an appearance. She has not filed a response. And at this time that the case is being called, she is not present. Or Mr. Angel Gonzalez is present before me. And let's see, Ms. Kaplan, is the state ready to proceed at this time? Okay. May I have you, you were muted at that time, Ms. Kaplan.
Yes, Your Honor, the state is ready to proceed, and the state would offer acknowledgements of paternity for both Lynette and Jalen at this time for in-camera inspection only, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, if you go ahead and forward it to me, I can review that. In the meantime, Mr. Gonzalez, are you ready to proceed today, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you can, please, sir, I need to swear you in. If you can raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. All right. While waiting for the acknowledgements to...
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay.
Mr. Gonzalez, what is your name?
Angel Javier Gonzalez.
And who are you the father of?
Lynette Giselle Gonzalez and Jalen Anali Gonzalez.
And who do they live with?
They live with me
And how long have they lived with you?
for about 4 years.
And how did they come to live with you?
We were together as a family since the girls, since 2009, me and Stephanie had a relationship. Lynette came to be like around 2010. So fast forward to 2016. I guess we were having problems in between each other. And I explained to her that we were having problems with, she was having a relationship with somebody else. So I explained to her that if she wanted to go somewhere else, she could be at the house while she found a place to go. And eventually she just stopped coming to the house altogether. And I had no contact with her for the next 3 months. And like I said, those next 3 months, I went ahead and came down to El Paso because I had found out she moved down here and tried to get just a meet and greet with the girls because they hadn't seen her in so long. But it went the way where Stephanie took Jalen, and I still wanted to get Jalen back, but the police got involved. And that's when they told me, like, you have to leave Jalen with her because she's already with her. She's her mom. So me and Lynette went back to Midland by ourselves.
Okay, sir. And who makes the major decisions for your children?
I do.
Has Mr. Ramirez ever participated in major decision-making regarding your children?
No. I've always give her the option that, hey, you can come to the first day of school. There's school meetings. There's programs, after school programs that Lynette was into, and nothing.
Would you like to give her the opportunity going forward to participate in major decision-making
Yeah,
regarding
of course.
your children's health and education?
Of course.
And do you have plans to leave El Paso for work or educational purposes?
No.
Has there ever been family violence between you and Ms. Ramirez?
No.
Has there ever been family violence between you and anyone?
No. None whatsoever. Not me or her, or like with her extended family. Nothing.
Uh, do you have any concern that if your address or other information were disclosed in a court order, it would cause you harm, injury, or harassment of any kind?
No.
Would you prefer that your address and other information not be disclosed in a court order?
No. I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
So you're okay uh, with your information being contained in a court order, sir?
Mhm. Yes, I do.
Does Ms. Ramirez know where you live now?
No, I don't think she does.
Would you prefer Ms. Ramirez not know where you live?
No, that's fine. Because if she were to pick up the girls, I mean, I have no problem with her picking them up where I live.
So just to clarify, you have no concerns whatsoever with your information being disclosed in a court order or with Ramirez or anyone else having access to that information. Is that correct, sir?
As long as it's for the court, yeah, that's fine.
What do you mean as long as it's for the court?
Like, if it's just information that you guys need to use, then that's fine. Like, if you guys need to let her know where I live, that's fine.
Has Ms. Ramirez visited since the separation?
No.
When did the two of you stop living together as a family unit?
June 7th, June 8th, around 2016.
You mentioned that there was an incident where Ms. Ramirez took Jalen back to Midland and you kept Lynette.
Yeah,
Did that
so what? Sorry.
did that incident
So,
occur after the separation?
yes, it was 3 months after the separation.
And how long did Ms. Ramirez keep Jalen?
For 1 week.
And then she freely and voluntarily returned Jalen to your care?
Yeah.
Has she visited since that time?
No. Like, voluntarily, no. It's me that I'll message her, and maybe she'll say yes, and then, but it's like I said, it's like 3 or 4 times a year, and that's if she does answer.
Do you believe it's in the best interest of your children for Ms. Ramirez to visit?
Yes.
How often would you like her to visit the children?
Um, every weekend will be fine. Just because I'm already set up with the girls, like with their schooling right now and all that, and I don't know if that would change them to the point that it might affect their grades.
Do you think that Ms. Ramirez visiting the children may negatively impact your children's grades?
I don't think so.
Do you know if Ms. Ramirez is working?
I don't know. Not to my knowledge, I don't.
Do you know if she's ever worked in the past?
She worked while we were in Midland at Whataburger, but that's about it. I don't know anything after that.
In your opinion, is she mentally and physically capable of working?
Yeah.
Do you know if she has any other children?
No, I don't know.
Do you know if she has health insurance for your children?
I, I don't know either.
Do you have health insurance for your children?
I have Medicaid for the girls.
Do you have any other type of insurance for your children?
No, not at this time.
Would you like back child support from the time that you and Mr. Ramirez separated?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you know if she continued to work at Waterburger in Midland after your separation?
No, to the best of my belief, she left Midland altogether. She came back to El Paso.
Do you know when she came back to El Paso?
Maybe like a month later in July, August.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Just to clear up a couple of things, Mr. Gonzalez, you and Ms. Ramirez have been separated since June of 2016.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said that were you all living in Midland at that time, or
Yes, sir.
were you living here in El Paso?
No, so everything took place in Midland.
Okay.
And so eventually, after close to half a year, I guess I got too overwhelmed with the whole having the girls by myself. And I was running a shop out there for repairs. So it overwhelmed me. So I had to move back to El Paso. And I thought I was moving back to give her like a option where she could just drive to get the girls. But it's been so long and it didn't happen that way.
Okay. So how long have you been here and how long have you lived here in El Paso now?
About 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Okay. And Ms. Ramirez lives here in El Paso. As far as you
To my knowledge, yeah.
Okay. According to the return of service, she was served an address here in El Paso back
Yeah.
in May. Let's see here. Mr. Gonzalez, do you have any problem with her being able to visit with the girls?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. All right, Dave. And let's see, Lynette is she's like 10 years old?
Yes.
Gonzalez, you went away. Did he disconnect?
Uh-oh.
I have,
I see his name on the screen.
yeah, he did. He's back in the waiting room.
Oh.
Something must have happened. Mr. Gonzalez, are you there? I see him now. Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, you're back? You're still muted, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. I was mentioning about visitation rights with Ramirez with the children. You told me that you don't have any problem with her being able to visit with the children.
No.
Okay, what we call the standard visitation schedule uh, means that she would have possession of the children every other Saturday and on time during the week, like on a Thursday for a couple of hours on Thursday evening. It also makes provisions for certain holidays, like the one that's coming up is Thanksgiving, I think. So other holidays, Christmas, birthdays, and things like that. That's what we call the standard visitation schedule. Do you have any problem with that?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Does she have any reason to go back to Midland, as far as you know? Or legal?
Not that I know of.
Okay. So if I order that all visitation be limited to El Paso County, Texas, is that okay with you?
Yes, sir. I don't
Unless,
plan on
unless you
going
all,
home.
unless you all agree that she can take them to Midland. Does she have relatives in Midland?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Let me see. Mr. Ramirez, Mr. Gonzalez, do you have any other children?
No, sir. Just
Okay.
Lynette and Jayla.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Ms. Kaplan, any other questions for Mr. Gonzalez?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. For the record, the court did receive the acknowledgements of paternity that was signed by both parties. And they do appear to be in proper form. So I will take judicial notice of the acknowledgements of paternity, one for each of the two girls before the court. Okay, they were properly signed and they do appear to be valid. So I'll take judicial notice of the acknowledgements of paternity. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint both parties joint managing conservators of the children. Mr. Gonzalez, you will have the primary possession of the children, so you determine where they live at all times. There'll be no geographical restriction or order the standard visitation schedule, standard possession order. Now, if you all agree on different times and dates, Mr. Gonzalez, that's fine with the court if there is an agreement, okay? If you all can't agree on the visitation, then it'll be according to the standard possession order, okay?
Okay.
No restrictions. It appears that Mr. Gonzalez is not requesting a non-disclosure. I think he went away again. Or he's unmuted. Well, if he comes back and then we'll continue. I was just about ready to ask the Attorney General for recommendations on the house support obligations. Well, he's back in the waiting room. Probably having some problems with connecting and staying connected.
Sorry. Is it working?
Mr. Gonzalez, are you back?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Because I think we keep losing you.
Yeah, it keeps.
All right, I'm going to ask the Attorney General to make recommendations as far as the child support obligations for Ms. Ramirez. Go ahead, Ms. Kaplan, what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends child support based on the minimum wage presumption, as there is no income information for Mr. Ramirez at this time. For two children before the court and no others, the minimum wage child support is $270 per month, with a step down to $216 when the oldest child emancipates. This includes credit for a $57 cash medical support obligation to reimburse for government insurance. And the state has also calculated a retroactive child support judgment for the past 48 months based on the minimum wage child support amount of $270 to be $12,960. The state is requesting a repayment of $100 a month until paid. on that judgment, all obligations to commence November 1st, 2020, Your Honor. That is the recommendation of the state at this time, and the state requests a ruling as to the non-disclosure issue.
Okay, all right, let me, all right, Mr. Gonzalez, the state is recommending that I set child support based on the minimum wage presumptions. We don't have any wage information for Ms. Ramirez. For 2 children, the minimum wage child support obligation would be $270 a month. Medical support of $57 as long as for the government health insurance, as long as the children are covered on either CHIP or Medicaid. And they're also asking for a judgment for back child support. Ms. Chapman, you'll have to restate that amount for 48 months at $270,
$12,960, Your Honor.
$12,960 for retroactive or back child support to be paid in an additional $100 a month. All these payments are to commence on November 1 and must be made through the registry of the court through the state disbursement unit. In other words, she can't make payments to you directly. If she does, they're not, you may not, she may not receive credit for any direct payments. So all payments have to go through. Okay. Those are the recommendations, Mr. Gonzalez. Are you in agreement with the recommendation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, the remaining issue, you were kind of a little bit unclear, and I just want to make the record clear. When we're talking about your information not being disclosed in the court order, that means that your address, telephone numbers, and everything would not be, either would or would not be included in the order. Do you want your information to be included in the order? Address, telephone numbers, and things.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. So that's a waiver on the record for non-disclosure. But it's fine with the court. That's fine. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Gonzalez, you have any questions, sir, about what the court has ruled today?
Not at this time, sir. I don't.
Okay. Ms. Kaplan, is there anything else that we need to address?
Nothing further from the state at this time.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, what's going to happen now is the Attorney General will prepare the order as I have written it today. Once I receive it, I will sign it, and it will be filed with the clerk's office here in El Paso, and copies will be sent to both you and to Ms. Ramirez. Okay. All right. Unless there's anything else, I don't think there's anything else that we need to address. That will conclude our hearing for today. Mr. Gonzalez, thank you very much for your participation and showing up today. At this time, the court will conclude the hearing, and you're free to go, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, sir. Stay healthy. Take care of your daughters. Okay, I believe that is a wrap.